It's another episode of Butt Crack Cycles. I'm gonna open a cold sparkling water and talk. So if you're brand new to this channel and this video is how you are finding me, my name's Paul, this is my YouTube channel. It's all about old Harley Davidsons. What I call old is Evo engine and earlier. So essentially 50s through late 90s is kind of the focus of this channel. Panhead, Shovelhead, Evo, and Ironhead and Evo Sportsters. But our topic today is not old bikes. This is kind of something I often shy away from commenting on, like current events at Harley HQ. Not because I'm not aware of it or that I don't care about it, just that I'm so far removed for the most part from like dealership culture. We talk about this a lot on this channel when I do these kind of like sit down and talk out in the shop episodes about how Harley culture has changed so much over the years and how the generation of riders that we have right now and that have been Harley's customer base for basically the last 20 years, those riders are very different than the riders that came in the 20 years before them. But I did want to take a minute and do a little video about what's going on at Harley right now. I'm far from any sort of expert and I have zero insider information. But the first thing is that Harley has teased a new bike for 2026. They're calling it the Harley Sprint. The Sprint moniker, of course, is recycled from the AMF years. Harley in the late 60s and into the 70s sold a little small bike called the Sprint. This was actually a rebadged Italian bike. It was made for Harley by, what was it? Armacchi, I think was the company that made it for them. And it was like a really cheap, really small way for people to get into the Harley brand. Smaller and cheaper than everybody's beloved Sportster. And that's kind of where Harley's going with this new bike. As of right now, we pretty much know nothing about it other than it will be available for sale really late 2025 or perhaps early 2026. It's supposed to be coming in under $6,000 US dollars for the MSRP. And from everything that I've been able to read, it's going to be outsourced. This will not be a US produced bike. Harley will have some other company make it in China or India. It sounds to me like there's even a good chance that this will just be a badge engineered product. Essentially, they're going to take a bike that's already in production somewhere overseas and then just slap a Harley sticker on it and sell it at the dealership. Everything we've heard so far is that it's probably going to be liquid cooled, probably have some kind of like digital dash display, probably a 6-speed, probably be around 400 pounds. I'm guessing it's going to be a single cylinder. It might be a twin cylinder at that price point, but we don't know. We don't know until we see it. And Harley's goal with this essentially is trying to get guys like me to walk into the dealership and buy a brand new bike. When I say guys like me, I mean sort of younger guys. I'm 36 years old, so I'm old enough that like I'm married and I have a house and I have a kid and I have some income, but I'm not really what has been Harley's target demographic for like the last 15 or 20 years. That being the sort of middle-aged, midlife crisis, white-collar guy who wants to go play biker on the weekends. I can't, and most people my age in my socioeconomic class, we cannot even think about walking into a dealership and buying a brand new bike, especially something like some of the baggers that are really expensive. $30,000 give or take for what is essentially a warm weather weekend play toy is absolutely out of the question for most of us who are in our 20s, 30s, or even into the 40s. And who have just like sort of regular working class jobs. And so Harley's looking to try and grab some of us and say, hey, instead of looking at a Japanese bike, come to our dealership, get our dealer service, and buy into our brand. We know you want it. We know you want that pride of ownership that comes with the Harley name. Now you can have it at this really cheap price. The caveat to this to me, though, is that I think we kind of all know that it's not going to be a real Harley. So many people talk crap about Sportsters already, that they're the girl's bike and the little bike and not a real bike. Get a real bike, brother. And so if you already have so many of the big tough guys in that dealership rider demographic talking down on the small bike, and if you introduce an even smaller and even cheaper bike, especially something that's made overseas and really has like no Harley heritage or history to it other than the sticker slapped on the side of the gas tank, I think that there's probably going to be a lot of people who talk down on the bike, whether that criticism is warranted or not. Personally, I hope the bike is good and I hope it's successful. I think that's a tough space in the market to be in. You've got bikes like the Honda Rebel. The 300 Rebel comes in at I think the MSRP on that's $4,700 right now. So cheaper than this new Harley bike that we don't know anything about. The Rebel 500, the twin cylinder, it's a parallel twin. That bike is $67.99 MSRP right now. So about $800 more than the Harley. But I think that sort of style bike, just the neo retro cruiser, and Kawasaki and such make bikes similar to this too. That's a market that the Japanese have just had on absolute lockdown for the last couple of years. And I think a lot of that has been due to the fact that the Japanese manufacturers never felt like they were bound to the past and bound to tradition in the way that Harley always has. Harley's always kind of been afraid to upset the apple cart and do anything at all sort of radical for fear of alienating their core customer base. Will the bike be successful? I don't know. I have to feel like it's too little too late, that they lost too many young riders to street bikes or to, like I said, stuff like that Honda Rebel 500, where it's not a full-on sport bike, it's not a full-on Harley cruiser, it's this kind of nice middle ground where you can kind of have your cake and eat it too. It's sporty enough that it's fun, it's laid back enough that it's not, you're not going crazy doing wheelies all the time on the street like riding a leader bike. But at the end of the day, I think the biggest problem this bike is gonna have for it is the fact that it's still going to be made somewhere overseas, a sticker slapped on the tank, and then just handed to the dealers to stick in the showroom and do whatever they want with. So much of the pride in the Harley name is that all-American classic culture, that my bike was made here, it was made in Milwaukee, and when you lose that, which has kind of already been lost by Harley, I think the luster of the bikes kind of wears off a little bit. I think that means that, unfortunately, even if Harley nails it with this Sprint, even if it's an absolute Japanese bike killer in that, say, $6,000 sort of entry-level standard bike category, I think the dealers are going to let these things just languish on the showroom floor because they don't make any money off of them. And the other problem, of course, with the dealership network, and this is true of any motorcycle dealer or car dealer too, is all the ridiculous fees that they love to tack on after the MSRP. So maybe the bike is $59.99.99, but by the time you add delivery fee, PDI fee, dealer prep fee, tax, tag, registration, title fee, some other BS fee that they'll pull out of their butt, I wouldn't be surprised if the out-the-door cost on these bikes is $7,200 or maybe even more. And at that price point, you can do really, really, really fantastically well in the used marketplace. And that really sums up my feelings about these new bikes, having never ridden one, never seen one. I want to like it. I hope I like it. I hope I like the concept of it. Maybe I can sweet talk my dealer into getting one once they come here actually for sale. And I could have one as a loaner bike to do a little review on here on the channel. But I think that it might be too little too late, and Harley maybe has already shot themselves in the foot, and that people just aren't going to care about it. Of course, the other thing that's going on right now in Harley land and in Harley culture is the CEO change. Harley has had Zeitz as the CEO for the last couple of years, and he's on his way out. I think he's going to resign in October-ish. I think this is what I read. And the new guy coming in is a dude named Artie Starrs. He's an American, which hopefully some of these people who've been losing their mind about Harley's being run by a foreigner, it's gone woke, DEI, Fox News said I should hate it. Maybe they'll love the fact that Artie Starrs coming into the company as a homegrown, red-blooded American who is currently running Top Golf, so perfect for middle-aged guys who want to go drink beer in the middle of the day and hit little white balls off into a green pasture. What do you call it? Field? I don't know. Driving range, that's the word I'm looking for. And before that, he ran Pizza Hut. He was the CEO of Pizza Hut, so what's more American than that? Just shoveling crappy, greasy pizza down your face at the buffet. Hell yeah, brother. I don't know anything else about the guy, really. I've kind of heard that he's like a brand guy, not a product guy. And so he's going to try and reshape the Harley brand to appeal to younger buyers. Which is funny to me because I kind of think that Harley as a brand has been selling a brand and selling a lifestyle more than they've been selling a product the last few years anyways. There's so many people who buy the bike because they want to buy the lifestyle. And I guess that's fine. It's just not kind of where we're at on this channel. And again, you know, that's kind of why I shy away from talking about stuff going on in brand new Harley land, because it's just so far removed from like what my daily life is. Y'all see kind of what my daily life is. It's this stuff. It's shovelhead, ironhead, shovelhead. You probably, is it on camera? Yeah, right there. The Fender, a 70 FLH right there. I don't want to say I don't care what they're doing in the corporate world and what they're doing at the dealership, but honestly, I really just don't. And there's probably a lot of other younger guys, millennials like myself. Side note here, I want to really do a video about millennials and our relationship with Harley. I think maybe we get a little misunderstood, but that's a topic for another day. Anyways, I think there's a lot of guys my age who love the idea of what Harley used to be and don't really care about what it is right now. And we're out there doing our own thing and finding each other and having our own Harley experience, often in a way that the older generation did. Those are the guys I really enjoy sitting down and talking to. And that's often a lot of people who are on this channel leaving those comments, and I absolutely love those comments. I've said this before on my channel. My absolute favorite comments that I get is when people share stories with me about their lives on a bike and bikes that they've owned, and like they'll tell you a story about, you know, I've got a 74 FLH and it was my dad's. He bought it brand new. I remember when he bought it. I was in high school when he bought it, and you know, it's been in my family now for all that time. And people leave those comments sometimes here, and that's the stuff that I care so much more about than is Harley woke and who's the CEO and where's the bike being made these days, the 2026 model. Is it made in India? Is it made in China? Is it made in Milwaukee? That stuff just doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, Harley Davidson is a publicly owned and publicly traded corporation. And companies like that don't exist to serve the rider, and they don't exist to serve the working class man or woman who walks into the dealership and plunks down their hard-earned cash for their product. Those companies, Harley and any of them, exist to serve the shareholders and the shareholders only. And if the CEO is being squeezed by the shareholders to then turn around and squeeze the product and the brand for every last cent that it's worth at the expense of the people who actually ride those bikes, you better believe that they're going to do it. If you think they care about you, they don't. You probably also say the same thing about politicians, but we're not doing any political videos on this channel. Though I know someone will inevitably bring politics into this discussion somewhere in the comments, and whatever, go for it. I really don't care. Anyways, yeah, I think that that's probably it. I've said everything that I want to say about this, and given as much of an opinion as I have about it. I had the time, I had a topic, I've got a sparkling mango water. It's a nice evening. figured I'd come out here, sit in front of the camera, talk a little bit. As always, thanks for watching. I will see y'all on the next episode.